Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to episode number 5 of Cuaveopolis. If you recall, in the last episode, we spent a lot of time trying to build our mining facility and our quarry. And so building that quarry in the last episode was actually super helpful. It helped to mitigate some of our issues with our industries not having enough raw materials in order to manufacture things, and that was an absolute success. However, we now have 1,000 jobs located right here, and the rest of our city is located right here, and that's a hell of a commute. I don't know about you. I don't know if I'd really want to hop on the highway every single day and have to deal with this big interchange and all that, and then get stuck in the traffic of the trucks and the freight, and that's a lot. It's too much, if you ask me. So, what I propose we do is build a small, rural, industrial town near the quarry. And I have plans to connect it up to be our first suburb, so to speak, that is connected to the city by rail. Now, I honestly think that our best bet for doing this is to just go with the road that we already have, and let's go ahead and make it something nicer. Let's make it a 4-lane road with wide sidewalks and trees. Doesn't that sound nice? Very descriptive. Let's go ahead and extend this road to about, what do you think? Like that? Yeah, about there. We should put roads with medians coming off of this main road every so often. I'm gonna just go to there for now. Okay, so now we have somewhat of an outline for our town over here, and I've decided I want to leave this area with all the rocks and all that as a park, and probably same with over here, not so much a park, more as just kind of a green space, just to kind of shield the town with some trees from the factories and stuff, because, you gotta remember, these guys are living pretty damn close to a factory. Not ideal, but then again, for people that want to walk or bike to work or whatever, it is ideal. So because this town is so close to the industry, I think it would be pretty cool to add some roads with bike lanes just to kind of encourage people to do it. Let's see. Maybe if I take this main road and just add bike lanes on either side all the way through. There we go. So now, avoiding the train tracks, there's somewhat of a way to get through here just on a bicycle, which is pretty cool. Since this is the Summit Mining Company, and it's kind of a company town, I think we should just call it Summitsville. Okay, so before we even zone any residential, let's go ahead and add some services to this area so people actually want to live here. I'm going to start with a church. I think that should kind of be like the centerpiece of the town. Pretty cool. Let's go ahead and put some healthcare centers as well. Maybe kind of closer to the industry where it might be a little noisier and whatever. Probably not suitable for houses or anything. Same thing with childcare. We'll put that over here. Okay, fire station. Obviously there's one in the industry, but we would want one in town as well. Put it right there. Police station. We'll go ahead. Police headquarters might be a little big. I don't know. We don't have many great options for police station, to be honest with you. Is this going to be too large? I'm okay with that. Maybe if we put it over here. Put the larger police station over that way. Okay. Elementary school. I'm going to put the elementary school right next to the firehouse. And then I think maybe Then yeah, maybe we can squeeze in a field right here on Main Street. Maybe over here actually. Let's see. Yeah, that's cool. Nice soccer field for the elementary school. I'm with that. Let us also think about a high school. I kind of like the look of this big, classic-looking high school. I'm gonna put it there. Maybe, you know, they share this field or whatever. Let's give them a basketball court. Why not? Actually, we might even be able to give them two if I move this just a little bit. Oh, the power of move it. Alright, so there's our education complex. We have a church, we got some healthcare buildings. That is super awesome. I might even handpick a few interesting commercial buildings. Go ahead and throw the medical cannabis dispensary right next to the church. Oh, we should probably give them like a proper healthcare center too, huh? Put that over there. I think we should give them their own, let's give them their own city hall across from the church. I think that's pretty cool. We do need to move it over just a little bit. Alright, well, we got to start to this sort of thing. Let's go ahead and zone some residential. Well, I think it's fair to say that people are wanting to move in here, which is pretty cool. I've gone ahead and sped the simulation up just a little bit. And yeah, wow, it's really working. Unsurprisingly, people are wanting to move in around the school, which makes sense. The land values are obviously higher. Alright, so while this is chugging along and people are moving in, I'm gonna do what I promised and connect this up via rail to the rest of the city. So let's go ahead and find ourselves a good ground station. Here's some elevated stations, large ground station, and that is the perfect size. Look at that, absolutely beautiful. So we're gonna go ahead and put the ground station down right here. We're gonna find our railroad, and we're just gonna start building. So basically the plan is I wanted to build kind of a main rail line that eventually this industry that we built last episode can hook up to as well. But for the time being, this is mainly just going to serve as a line to get people in and out of Summitsville. That way traffic on this road doesn't have to back up, which it already is. So it's a good thing we're doing this. So I'm just going to build this to kind of follow that road at first. And then my plan is to use this little peninsula as kind of an opportunity to jump over here. And then you'll see what I have planned after that. Okay, so now from here, I'm going to hug this highway for as long as possible, which is not very long. And then, okay, so basically, in this area where the track is already kind of submerged, I'm going to have one track going somewhat like this as a tunnel into there. Perfect, okay. So just a very simple railroad tunnel right here, as you can see, and that looks a little funny. Let's see if I can adjust that, look a little less funny. Huh, something like that. Ugh. There we go. So okay, as you can see, now this line hooks up to the main branch just like that. But then I also want to have it go towards this way. That way it can be utilized by this industrial area. So we're basically going to do the exact same thing, but over on this side. And just kind of go like that. And if this causes traffic in the future, because this is too small of an interchange, we can fix it. But for now, I think that's fine. I think it's not super unrealistic. It's a pretty short tunnel going under just a bunch of infrastructure. I feel like it kind of makes a little bit of sense. You can see the traffic situation is not great. And that is hopefully what the rail will help with, at least to a degree. We'll check in more on the traffic in a little bit. Now that we've built our station here, it's time to build our line. So we're going to create a new line. Obviously it's going to follow here. Then it's going to go to our main station. For now, we'll just put it right on that center platform. And boom, that's our first use of the train station outside of just tourists and guests and whatnot, just visiting the city or people coming in and out. Alright, so I've done a little bit of landscaping here. People are still kind of complaining and dying and whatever, but they'll just kind of have to get used to it. That's just the way it's going to be. Somebody broke into this dude's house, it looks like. But it also looks like a lot of people are using this train station, which is awesome. Hopefully not only are people who live in this town using it to commute to the city for shopping and for things like that, but hopefully people are also commuting from the city out here to, work in these mines and stuff. It's looking to be pretty awesome. People are just absolutely roaring to move in. You can see, like, these houses are getting built so quick. It's absolutely amazing. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the policy citywide that lets people enjoy biking. Where can I find that? Oh yeah, encourage biking. Because hopefully that'll turn some people on to using these bike lanes and whatnot. You can see there's a few people using them. See what this guy's doing. Sterling Ward. He's just absolutely cruising along. Oh, and then, yep, he gets on the train, and there he goes. That's exactly what I want to see happen. These guys gotta shut up. Or maybe just plant some trees in their backyard or something. I don't know. Maybe I could help them out. Alright, now I've planted a bunch more trees to try to make these guys a little bit happier about the noise and to kind of shield them from the horrors of their industrial workplace over here that's just chugging away smoke. It looks a little funny. I mean, these trees, maybe it's just because they're super close together, but I mean, they all are, like, taller than the houses, which, like, where I'm from, you see that a lot. So, like, that's not really weird to me, but something about the way the game does it just looks odd. I guess it maybe is just because they're not spaced out far enough. I don't know. I might end up changing that. It looks funny, but I think I'm just gonna keep it for now. That is the beginnings of Summitsville, and we still have a crazy residential demand, actually. Like, almost 10,000 people moved in all of a sudden. How many people are even living in Summitsville? 6,600 people, which is crazy. I mean, only 1,300 of them are working at the mine. So this goes to show that we just need housing everywhere, because you can see people are still over here moving into Waltham, which our commercial in Waltham is not looking ideal. Should probably go through and replace some of those buildings, but that's going to be a project for a future episode. I don't know why it's just spawning a few of the same building, and they're super boring. The residential part looks beautiful, though. I love this. This is great. But yeah, as you can see, we are in dire need of expansion and in dire need of just building homes for people. So what I could do is I could extend. I think what I'm just gonna do for the time being, and just to carry out the episode, is I am just gonna extend the roads to this road up here. There's a little bit of terrain weirdness, but it's nothing like crazy. And then this will hopefully just at the very least satisfy a little bit more residential demand. Now the only issue with this is that the factory is right there. So we might just want to plant hella trees there. But yeah, let's go ahead and zone. Can at the very least just plunk. A part of me does kind of love how many trees there are and just how big they are. It makes me feel like this town is like super historic, has been here for a long time. The trees have had a lot of time to get like insanely massive and overgrown. Because like that does happen. Like you'll go to some like older cities and stuff where they have like foliage and whatnot, and they have just giant trees. And like I said, it looks a little funny in the game, especially when you get far away. It starts doing stuff like that. So I may opt to switch this out for something else in a little bit, but it's working. People are moving in. And real quick before I close out the episode, there is one adjustment I want to make here, because as you can see, traffic is absolutely piling up, and it is not good. So I want to just do a few things to this road. First of all, I'm going to go in a traffic manager and tell these guys that they can just go straight through this intersection. These guys just yield to that big road. This is already a traffic light, which is exactly what we want. I'm gonna make this another yield, so these guys can just continue straight, and then that's the traffic light. And then above all else, I'm gonna make this a roundabout, because this is honestly just kind of unacceptable. There's too much going on here. So I'm gonna try if I can. Nope, that doesn't look good. Alright, so now you can see it functionally kind of works the same, but instead of just having an intersection here, the traffic goes around this roundabout, and make sure that we tell the game that we want people to yield like it's a roundabout. And there's still probably going to be some traffic backups just for a little bit, and quite frankly, this intersection might be causing some problems too, because everybody's trying to make a left turn, which is not ideal. But that's the reality, and we'll have to make it work, and we'll see what happens. Summitsville looks good. It has a population of 8,000 now. 2,000 different households and 2,700 workers. It's mostly adults with children. It's a hustling and bustling little suburb here. I mean, you know, it's pretty quiet. There's a lot of trees, but a good amount of people live here, and you know, pretty well connected to everything else we've built so far, which is pretty exciting. Now, at this point in the video, you might be wondering, why have you built everything so sporadically spread out from each other? Like, that's weird. You just kind of started building one thing and abandoned it and started building another, and yeah, I mean, you're right. I have ADHD, and I kind of do things in parts, and that's the way my brain works. However, there's also a little bit of a reason for that. I like building things in different areas because eventually I have the job of mating them all up in a way that makes sense. I also think it's kind of realistic to think, you know, if there's jobs out here, people want to live close, and you know, there's a little bit of a method to it, but eventually it'll be really fun once we finish everything in here and fill this all in. We have these historic areas that we're kind of forced to work with, and that's kind of the way that I like to play the game. And there you have it, the beginnings of Cuavopolis. There's not much. It's kind of, it's funny that our little industrial town is really more built out than our actual city, which we will be fixing in the next episode, so don't even worry about that. I know it's a bit of a sporadic start to a series. I'm aware of that. But I like to kind of start my cities in this way, like I was explaining. I think it just kind of makes it more fun as we go through the process of actually expanding our city. So thank you very, very much for watching episode 5. It's been a lot of fun making these videos. Every time I post a new one, it gets like more likes and views than the previous one. So thank you so much for the support. I'm definitely going to keep making them. If you enjoyed this video, or if you have any suggestions for the next one, or you have any ideas of things to build, or, maybe you hate something I built and you want to yell at me and tell me to do it differently, I don't care. I'd love to hear your criticism down below. Please drop a comment, leave a like, subscribe, all that bullshit I gotta say for YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you guys in episode 6.